Hey YouTube, it's Tams, the Wicked Witch. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Thank you to all my new subscribers. I got some more since yesterday. Very, very pleased. Thank you so much. And if you haven't, please subscribe. Please give us a thumbs up for the videos. Really helps the channel. Much appreciated. Thank you. So as you can see by the title of the video, today's how to use, if you will, video is garlic, and how we can use garlic in our magic and our spellcraft. So yeah, very excited about doing garlic. It's absolutely fantastic. I say that about everything I do a video on, but it really, really is. So most of us know garlic as being what wards off vampires, hanging the garlic round the bed and putting garlic in the holy water, and all that kind of stuff from the TV and the films and the books over the years. You know, kicks the camera, is what we kind of know garlic for. Firstly, garlic's actually really good for you. It really is good for health, and chewing garlic, if you've got a sore throat, actually helps get rid of sore throats and that kind of horrible glassy type feeling that you get sometimes when you're starting to get a cold. So if you chew garlic, it can sometimes get rid of it. So it's got a lot of healing properties about it. But in magic, it's mostly known for its power of repelling negative energies, spirit, and protection. It's used in kind of all kinds of spells and banishing rituals and all things to do with repelling evil or negative energy, which is where personally I think the whole idea of the vampire, it's where they got the whole vampires and garlic situation. I think that's where they got it from, because this has been used, and this dates back a long time. So in the Museum of Witchcraft, they have like something that they've preserved and found in there, and it's kind of in a glass, like a taxidermy glass frame thing in the Museum of Witchcraft, and it is a string of garlic with two bird skulls in the string, black pin heads in the garlic cloves. I think there might be like a certain amount in each clove. Then there's the two bird skulls. This is all put on a string of garlic, and I don't know how they know, but in their details they say lemon. So personally I think that the garlic is doused in lemon juice, and we were talking about this in our lemon video yesterday, how you can sour things with lemon if you were doing kind of opposite magic and being kind of naughty and doing something bad. So I think that's what it is. And this they've labelled it in the Witchcraft Museum. They've labelled that as to harm a wrongdoer. But this is obviously how in the old days they would have cursed somebody or done something back to somebody if they'd done something to them. So this is really interesting to me, because I always like to look at both sides of things and see, how the comparisons of how you can also use things the other way. And garlic, you can obviously use it to do the opposite magic with, but we'll get to some more of that in a minute. So garlic, really good to work with Hecate and some of the dark goddesses. Having cloves of garlic on your altar is really good for working with dark goddess energy. It's also really good for keeping your divination tools cleansed of anything negative that could stick to it. So by negative, I'm not necessarily talking about moody negative spirits or saying that you've got a poltergeist or something like that. I'm talking about just negative crap. And there's negative crap dangling around in the air everywhere, from people entering your house. That might not be the situation at the minute, but arguments in the house, bad juju, all sorts of stuff. It sticks to things, so keeping garlic cloves near your sacred space and your divination tools helps to prevent anything unnecessary sticking itself to your tools. It's also a really good house cleanser. So if you was buying a new house and you went in with garlic, you put cloves, you could have bundles, you could make a spray to cleanse a house. Also, if your house is haunted or you've got a spirit that's a little bit wonky, and you're not quite happy with how that's going, garlic again, same kind of thing. You could go around with your sage. You could also have garlic placed. You could spray garlic water, you know, just like a sort of a spritz as you went round whilst you was doing ritual to remove anything you know, unsavoury from your home. So it's really, really good for that. Anybody that is a gossip monger, and we all know somebody that just can't stop doing this and gossips, and sometimes can cause so much trouble. If you've got one of those spiteful ones, if you make a poppet of them and fill it with garlic and put in your intent, it will stop them gossiping, and either they will bugger off somewhere else and stop being friends with you, or they will stop gossiping. It's really good for anything like that. Warding off negative energy in vehicles, and if you was going to take a trip, so leaving garlic in your car if you were going to have a long journey. If you were going on a boat trip, you could put garlic in some water and take it in a water bottle with you. Probably don't drink the water, might be a bit moody, but take it with you. If you're going on water, take garlic in a bottle of water, like a little, you know, little drinking bottle or whatever. Helps you have a safe journey if you was going on a boat trip or a cruise or something like that. It purifies your sacred space in a spritz form. If you wanted to just spritz it all, if you've worked with something a little bit, if you've had like a real problem spell situation, the whole altar's basically turned into dedication for this one thing you've been concentrating on for ages, and it's all finished. If you use a garlic spray and then bury everything that you don't need, it's all finished and done, and put garlic in there as well, that will keep it down in the ground, keep it away, it's all done and dusted, and that cleanses and removes anything negative that's tried to hang on. So yeah, it's really good for exorcism. People use garlic in exorcism, and again, I think this is where the whole vampire TV book thing came from over the years, and people's knowledge of witchcraft and occultism and what people use things for. I think this is where they've got their idea of the garlic with the vampires. There is also a little bit of me, not that I want to turn this into to chat about vampires, but there is also a little bit of me. I'm not going to say I believe in actual vampires, but I do believe that there may have been something, which is where it's come from. Everything comes from something. And I do think maybe we're going back in kind of mythology and folklore, where there's vampire mythology and folklore. It's come from somewhere, you know, just as dragons. I believe there were dragons, a kind of former dinosaur type thing, when everything was a lot bigger. When goddesses and gods were walking around, but they were massive, like giants, and I believe that there were dragons, and that's where this has come from. And so I do actually believe there were vampires. I'm not saying they're flying about now, but I do believe that. You know, that's just my belief, and so I think this is where all of this comes from. Everything comes from somewhere, right? Yeah, so you can actually get black garlic. Apparently it tastes very much like balsamic vinegar, maybe a little bit like licorice even, a slight licorice taste, and apparently it's been aged in the sun after it's kind of, I suppose it starts off like normal garlic, and then it's been like aged in the sun, or like under extreme heat, and it turns it black, and that's supposed to have really good properties that are really good for you. I've never seen any myself, but yeah, it does exist. The garlic on your altar, as I say, working with dark goddesses, keeping sacred space cleansed of negative energy. If you have a person at work who's like a bit of a sociopath, or you have the idle gossipers at work, or if you have somebody that is being really mean to you at work, if you enchant a garlic clove and put your intent into a garlic clove and basically make them stop, you could put it in a poppet of that person. But if there's not time to create something like that, if you just put the intent into a garlic clove and slip it somewhere on their desk, it will stop, as long as you get your intent in. because, you know, there's always somebody at work that causes somebody a problem. So it's really good for that. So yeah, obsessive people, people like sociopaths, obsessive people, people that won't stop gossiping, like nasty ones causing trouble, somebody that's trying to do you harm, evil spirits, negative people, energy suckers, you know, the ones that are really horrible energy suckers, not just someone that's got a bit of an issue and don't stop moaning, but proper energy suckers. The garlic's really, really good for all of that. You can use it in banishing spells, you can use it in blessings, you know. Old times, they would hang garlic around the beds of children, around the window frames, to stop children having nightmares. And people today have still got that kind of hanging on to that folklore that strings of garlic ward off anything bad, and that gives you good dreams. So again, the whole protection thing, it's amazing for protection, blessings, healing. If you feel like poppets with garlic cloves and other things, obviously, as you heard about the Museum of Witchcraft's finding of the garlic string with the bird skulls, that would have been something made to do somebody, to do someone a mischief who'd obviously done something wrong to the person who made it, or maybe they were evil persons and doing, you know, maybe it was a really bad situation, but that's what that would have been. But the fact that there was lemon, I'm so excited about that. When I discovered this, I discovered it ages ago when I was reading about the history of the Witchcraft Museum, and I was just blown away when I saw lemon, and I thought, I bet they've just soaked it in lemon juice, because obviously it would sour, and also lemon being potent. So we did lemons yesterday. If you want to go through my playlist, I'll try and put the links below. I did lemons yesterday, and rope magic. So yeah, it was interesting that they'd use lemon, and the pinheads, and people put pins in, or coffin nails into something to, I always feel that with coffin nails, piercing something, whether it be a lemon or a piece of garlic, to do that kind of darker, you know, I don't like that word because magic's magic, it's the intent, not the colour, but to do, let's say, darker magic or something a bit naughty, when you're putting in pins or coffin nails, it's like you're entering and adding and basically making it so, you know, with the putting in the nails, like, not, you know, the what's the saying, the nail in the coffin, isn't it? And put a pin on it or whatever, you know, it's that kind of thing. It's the sayings for a reason. You know, it's you're pinning in something, you're pinning into that garlic, the negative, what you want to do, because obviously you're doing something that's naughty and negative and bad, all depending, I don't know what that person done to them, do you know what I mean? Eye for an eye, sometimes tit for tat, isn't it, as they say, you know. As witches, we all abide by the law of three, most of us, and don't want to do anyone any harm. But if somebody harmed your family or came at you, you've got to retaliate, and in witchcraft that does happen. So I do like the use of pins and coffin nails, not just for anything like that. They're amazing to pin down anything. In magic, it kind of, you know, bit like a stamp, bang, do you know what I mean? So yeah, really, really excited about the old garlic. I've used garlic. If you've watched my first videos a year ago, you'll notice that I was talking about garlic when I was doing my house protection. I've got garlic on my altar, and obviously this is why. It's actually really, really popular. Here comes my dog again. I think he was thinking about knocking over the tripod, but he's decided to lay down and just look at me instead. It's Teddy again, misbehaving. So yeah, a little insight into garlic. It's nearly 15 minutes. I don't know if this will download. I hope you enjoyed it. If you've got any garlic information that I haven't gone over, or, you know, put it below for us so I can read yours, because I do like to read all the comments and see what people say. That's what it's about, isn't it? Ideas for everybody, and there's always something you don't know, someone else knows. So it's like, really, it's a learning process the whole time. That's what I love about witchcraft and paganism. It's continuous learning. You never know it all, ever. There's always stuff you've got to learn. It's great. Anyway, I hope you like this video. Please give us a thumbs up. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and I'll try and do another video tomorrow. See you later on. Ta-da.